Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Worcester City Council meeting. If you can, please stand for the... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off a week. Welcome to the Worcester School Committee meeting. And if you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the National Anthem. The National Anthem will be sung by Sam Kebe, a 12th grade student at Doherty Memorial High School. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sam. Nice job. Roll call.
Member Alvarez.
Here.
Member Biancaria.
Here.
Member Benenda.
Here.
Member Guardiola.
Here.
Vice Chair Johnson.
Here.
Member Mailman.
Here.
Member McCullough.
Here.
Member Roy.
Here.
Mayor Petty.
Here. Okay. We have the consent agenda. If you ever had a chance to see that, we'll roll call that. Roll call.
Member Alvarez.
Yes.
Member Biancaria.
Yes.
Member Benenda.
Yes.
Member Guardiola.
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson.
Yes.
Member Mailman.
Yes.
Member McCullough.
Yes.
Member Roy.
Yes.
Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay. What's that?
Maureen's online.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We have public comment. A member of the public may address the committee regarding any item before them for 2 minutes. So there's your names to your residence and the item number you're speaking on. And we're ready to go.
Hi, my name is Heather Stanek. I am a resident of Worcester. I have 2 children, an 11-year-old in 5th grade, and a 5-year-old who will join the Worcester Public Schools in 2026. I'm speaking on item C&P 5-2, but first and foremost, I'd like to express my most profound gratitude to Dr. Menores, sorry, for your enthusiastic and enlightened leadership over the last 3 years. You have truly shown us what is possible in our city, in our schools, for our scholars. Scholars is a word we never used to describe our students before. I think that it shows them just in our speaking what they're capable of. Your forward-thinking, responsive, inclusive leadership has given voice to so many of us who have felt silenced in this city for many years. I hope that we make the best of this situation by continuing to move forward, not as an opportunity to look back. Okay. As far as the Autism Acceptance Day, my son, who's 11, has autism. Yesterday in class, a classmate looked at him and said, The only thing I see when I look at you is 100% autism. It is unacceptable that students think that they can use that as a derogatory name. It is unacceptable that students, that scholars, that parents, that community members do not see these children as having the superpowers that they do. We need to teach our scholars that differences are beautiful. We need to teach our scholars that they will live in this community with these people for the rest of their lives. I urge you to pass the autism acceptance petition tonight. Thank you.
I just thought. Okay. Does your name, see your residence, and item number?
My name is Kirsten Frazier. I'm a resident of the city of Worcester. I'm also a Worcester Public School educator. I'm speaking today in support of CNP 5-2, the resolution in recognition of Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month in all Worcester Public Schools. As the resolution states, there has been a significant increase in the number of students diagnosed with autism in the Worcester Public Schools over the past quarter of a century. I want to point out that this is not necessarily because more people are autistic, but rather that the definition of what autism is has been broadened. Additionally, medical personnel have become better trained in recognizing the early signs of autism, and the tools that are used to diagnose children earlier so that they can get the support they need have become more refined. As a district and as educators in the district, we work very hard to support all of our students who have special needs and provide them with the tools that they need for success. However, we can always do more. This resolution highlights ways in which we can support not just our students, but our educators, both in and out of the classroom, to gain a better understanding of what autism is and how to encourage everyone to not only become more accepting of students who learn differently so that people like Heather's son don't have to have that type of derogatory language thrown towards them, but also to celebrate the contributions of everyone in the Worcester Public Schools community. Contrary to what the current HHS secretary has said, our autistic students and adults, because we exist, are capable, proud, and incredibly wonderful individuals who can and will make our city even better. Please support and approve this resolution. Thank you. And to Dr. Menares, thank you for everything, and we will continue forward. Thank you.
What's your name, see your residence, item number?
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Rivera Ortiz. I am a paraeducator at Burncoat Middle School, and I'm here to speak on the item about autism awareness and acceptance petition. I wanted to speak in favor of having this be approved by our school committee. This is super important for our educators, especially our paras, transportation, and OT and PT staff. We need to have more training on working with our neurodiverse students, primarily our scholars on the spectrum. Paras are with our students most of the day, sometimes more than our teachers. We need to have more extensive training. A lot of the time, our ESPs know our students are on the spectrum before our teachers and school adjustment counselors. We don't always get the professional training we need to be the best educators and live up to our potential for our students. Once we start helping our most marginalized students is when every student has an educational environment they can thrive in. A similar resolution has passed at the City Council, and now we need to pass it at our school committee. Thank you, and please pass this item.
Thank you. What's your name, see your residence?
Saul Ramos, resident of Worcester and an educator in the Worcester Public Schools for over 20 years. I'm here to speak on support of item J in recognition of Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month. This recognition is so important, especially with what is coming out of the White House. Just today, we are hearing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, said that autism destroys families and children, and says autistic children are kids that will never pay taxes, hold a job, play basketball, baseball, write a poem, or go out on a date. Many will never use a toilet unassisted. He also said, "We are doing this to our children and we need to put an end to it." As educators, we know that his words are just pure ignorance. Our students are capable of and are doing every single one of these things and so much more. Much of it is by the guidance of our education support professionals, especially our paraeducators. That is why it is so important that all staff, particularly paraeducators, be provided with ongoing professional development related to neurodiversity so that they remain informed about evolving best practices and up-to-date research. The City Council voted for this unanimously. My expectation is that the school committee will do the same. And Dr. Monarez, I would really wanted to say thank you for being an effective change for our schools, for our educators, and for our students. I absolutely love what you've done and support it, and I just really wanted to say thank you.
Your name, city residence?
Hello, my name is Echo Louisant. I am a resident of the city of Worcester. I am with and representing the WCC. I am also the founder and executive director of 508 Cheers. I'm not only here today by myself, but I am here with several youth from my mentorship program. And today I wanted to talk about the importance of after-school programming and mentorship. And if we are able to support programming outside of the wonderful programming that's already available in Worcester, like the Friendly House, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCAs, and the YWCAs, along with smaller informal programming like mine, and if we just give the kids the tools and we tell them that they can, and we allow them to believe in themselves, and we give them the roadmap, they can change the world, and they can do really large things. And I really believe that we're overlooking the smaller, informal programming by not allowing the support or the guideline or the road mapping for smaller, informal programming just because we're small. But just because we're small, it does not mean that we are not impactful. Just because we are small, it does not mean that we are not profound. Just because we are smaller does not mean we are not capable of changing the world. And I think it was said that a small, well-organized group of people are capable of changing the world. And I have a group of youth here with me who would like to show you just how capable a small, well-organized group of people are capable of changing the world if you just tell them that they can. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name, city residence?
Hi, my name is Jalen. I'm here for.
Speak right to the mic. Put
right
it
here?
up.
All right. Hi, my name is Jalen. I'm here with ROS 5-8 to advocate for the importance of more after-school programs for kids and teens. I go to Doherty High School, and I'm with 508 Cheer. I feel like it's very important to the community, especially with the rising death and injury of kids. This issue is very personal to me. I had a friend that ended up dying in a car crash, and I believe that if she had an after-school program to go into, she wouldn't have been out there doing what she was doing. She had gone out with some people she probably shouldn't have been with, and they ended up leaving her in the car while they went inside to rob a store, and resulted in a high-speed police chase. They ended up crashing the car and ended up dying. It was a true tragedy and an awful loss, but I feel like if she had an after-school program, or she had somewhere to go and a place where she could be safe and have a mentor like we do at 508 Cheer, then she would have somebody she trusted, then maybe she would have made better choices and have better friends and maybe still be alive today. I just want to say there is a necessity in Worcester, especially for us, to have a safe after-school programs to give teens something to do with our time, so we don't end up in places we're not supposed to be doing things that can ultimately harm us or even cause us death. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anaya Cyrus. I'm with ROS 5-8. I'll be talking about the need for more children care about after-school programs in Worcester. I go to Burncoat High School. I'm here with 508 Cheers. Most parents don't have time or are able to leave work to pick up their child up from school, focusing them to make tough decisions. I personally have a little sister that's 4 who attends pre-K at Self High. My mother goes out her way on a day-to-day basis to leave her job and travel back and forth midday through school traffic, which makes it very difficult for her to not only get to work on time, but to stay focused. How is she expected to get to work done if she's constantly having to leave her job to provide for her children with transportation because she can't afford childcare or an after-school program? Overall, there should be more flexible after-school programs and support with transportation available for youth and families, and we need funding for programs like 508 Cheers that are invested in changing the lives of our youth and impacting our community and showing us how to advise to make these changes in communities. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alexi and I am here with ROS 5-8 to discuss the critical need for more after-school programs for our youth in Worcester. This issue hits home for me because I used to be one of those kids who felt lost and out of place. During my high school years, I often found myself alone and never really talking to anyone and having nothing to do after school. But my life took an unexpected turn when I discovered an after-school program called 508 Cheer. Echo took me in as if she knew me for years. I never felt out of place or scared to speak my thoughts about any topic we were discussing. On the first day of the program, I walked into the room and I was so confused. I didn't know if I would fit in or not, but then I saw kids around my age who were talkative and invited me to talk to them. Never made me feel out of place, and I built a close connection being in this program that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Echo encourages me to join in small talk within the group discussions as she was here for us. She always focuses on topics about us and what we can do to better our future. I always feel heard and understood when I was in the Cheers program. This program has made me want to go and tell my story about how I feel because I do have a powerful voice that others want to hear. I just need to take the first step. That is why I'm here now. When Echo gave me this opportunity to speak in front of you to give my story, I was very excited. I wanted to tell my story and show myself that I can do this, not just for myself, but for my community and to people who are scared to talk in front of other people. I hope my story shows how an after-school program can change a person's life for the better. So why would we stop this from happening if I'm here as living proof that is good for children? I really hope you take into consideration that after-school programs are very beneficial. Thank you for hearing my story, and I hope you hear out what everyone has to say. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hennessy Polo, and I'm here for ROS 5-8. I will be talking about the lack of after-school programming in Worcester. I go to Doherty High, and I'm here with 508 Cheers. Before I met Echo and found out about her program, 508 Cheers, I was going in the wrong direction. I wasn't really doing well in school. I got kicked out of public school, then sent to an alternative school. I was getting in trouble a lot in school, out of school, and even at home. But a friend of mine introduced me to Echo and her after-school program for the youth, so I decided to join. When I tell you this program changed my perspective on how I want to be represented in this world, I started to act better. I went into high school with a different mindset than the one I had leaving middle school. 508 Cheers changed my life for the better and made things easier on my parents. I wish there were more programs like this accessible to kids like me in Worcester. Her program has no funding and no building to call home. Why? It is really changing kids' lives like mine. Not a lot of people cared about me because I wasn't a so-called good kid, but 508 Cheers cared. Echo told me I could change our community and showed me how, and now I'm here. It's changing our community, and you live here, so you should care if the lives of our youth are getting better or worse. We should put aside more funding for programs for the youth that are really making a difference, not just the big ones. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kaylani Rodriguez, and I am a part of 508 Cheers. I am here today to talk about the lack of after-school programs in the city of Worcester. After-school programs are more than just a place to go after school. They are a safe space, a place to learn and grow not only academically but personally. They can help kids grow into better people and give them the guidance they might not have in their everyday life. It keeps kids out of the streets and gives them better things to do that would build them up instead of down. Not being able to go to a good after-school program doesn't only affect the child not going, but it also affects the family and makes it harder for the parents to be able to go out and make the money they need to support their families. When parents don't have a safe and trusted place to send their kids while working, they seek other options like their teens. And teens shouldn't have to deal with with the responsibility of taking care of their siblings every day and missing out on other opportunities. Not only that, but they start to miss out on their youth. I relate to this so much because after 6 hours of school, I come home to my siblings and I put aside everything else I have to do or could do for about 5 hours a day. If you think about that, it basically takes up the rest of my everyday life. I have to make my siblings a priority and help support my parents when at the end of the day, I'm still just a kid. My life is being affected because there's a lack of places for my siblings to go. Even when my parents think they find somewhere, there's no transportation or it costs too much after already working the amount that they do. Our youth is the future. There should be more funding when it comes to after-school programs. After joining ECHO's program, my views started to change only for the better. I grew as a person and met the people I would soon call my community. I thank God every day for the opportunity I had joining this program, so I really feel like every kid should have the same opportunity too. But that can't happen without the funds to make it possible, which we are very much lacking. If you could make an impact on our youth for only the better, wouldn't you want to do it? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Echo, nice job. Thank you.
Truly.
This your name, city residence?
Hi, my name is Holly Montero. I'm a Worcester Public School parent, and as of this past week, a future Worcester Public School paraprofessional. I owe that greatly, and a portion of that to Dr. Menares for providing the space that allowed me to see that I have a voice and that I can make an impact, not only in my children's lives, but the children in this city. So thank you. Your work has been amazing. The vision is clear, and we're going to keep moving forward. I'm also here to speak on item J regarding the autism awareness in Worcester Public Schools. I think it's really important that we recognize the difficulties that some of our students inquire every day when they're in school, and they deserve the support. There's part of that resolution that speaks about offering these services not just to the children on autism spectrum, but giving it making it available to all students. One of my children, while she's not diagnosed and on the spectrum, would highly benefit from some of these things that are on this resolution. And I think it's truly important and beneficial for our whole entire school community. Knowledge is power. These are the future of this city. That is the future of the people sitting right here, and they deserve every opportunity to believe in themselves and to succeed. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Andrea Peak. I'm a lifelong resident, and I came to speak for the report ROS 58, From Here to Anywhere. But first I have to begin by thanking Superintendent Menares. Usually I have 24 hours, I write my thing and then I reflect, so God knows what's in here. You gave me 2 hours, so this may be fun. I was genuinely moved by her vision for Worcester Public Schools. The way she speaks about equity, opportunity, and truly belonging resonated with me. I believe in her leadership, and tonight's news of her departure is incredibly difficult. I know it changes the tone of this meeting for many of us. I'm heartbroken, honestly. but I still hope that the work that she began and the values that she championed continue forward. Her commitment to building a future where all children are seen and supported, prepared for success has meant a great deal to me. So, personal thank you. So I came originally because I watched part 1 of our Vision of a Future, and I was genuinely looking forward to part 2. But I need to speak truthfully. As a parent of a medically complex child, my lived experience hasn't yet quite matched the report and the vision outlined in the report, nor my friends. My daughter has faced challenges that go beyond academics. There have been many days this year when she was too anxious or afraid to walk through the school doors. She starts her morning in tears more often than not, and too many children are just like her. That alone tells me we still have work to do, because no child can benefit from a future-ready plan if they don't feel safe and supported enough to be present in school. I know many educators and leaders in Worcester are doing incredible work. Oh no. Sorry. Some schools are embracing restorative justice practices, building emotionally safe spaces, and doing everything they can for kids. They tell me to slow down. But the implementation across the district is not consistent. Some buildings continue to struggle with issues like bullying, trauma response, and inclusive supports for children with disabilities. I've been advocating for my daughter for over 2 years, and at times I've felt heard, but there are also times like today when I've left meetings in tears, feeling defeated. If we want true equity, then families like mine and voices like mine must be a part of the solution, not pushed aside. Superintendent Monara's vision gave me hope, and I believed her when she said Worcester could be a place where every child belongs. I still believe it's possible.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Hi, my name's Ann Bureau, a Worcester resident and a grandmother. My grandson's going to be entering elementary school. I also work for Community Connections. This administration has done so much to respond to the needs of parents and the community. We've heard from many parents great concern with the loss of the current superintendent. Let's please not lose the work that has been done in the strategic plan. So much has been done for culture, climate, parent involvement, support services, and overall student outcomes. Let's keep the good work that's coming. We're asking the school committee. It's now on you. Let's please keep the current work and the current direction we're on and the current strategic plan. Thank you. I also want to speak on the item J. I help co-chair the Autism Task Force for Worcester, and with the help of Nellie Medina and other folks, the survey was done, and the treatment and the climate towards kids with autism is one of the great needs in our community. This is so imperative. The atmosphere and how children on the spectrum are treated in the schools. So please consider that it's crucially important. Thank you.
Thank you. Is your name, see your residence, and item number?
Hi, I'm Tim Elliott. I live up on College Hill, and I have 2 young boys in public school currently. I'm here to address ROS 5-8. I just wanted to acknowledge the great work the superintendent and deputy superintendent and their staff have done over the past couple of years at least. I especially want to thank them for their dedication to hearing from parents and actually trying to implement some of the things that we parents have asked for and pointed to as issues as we want addressed. Of course, more needs to be done. Of course, more initiatives and programs are needed to address our community's concerns. We want a community where all school-age children are welcome, treated with respect, and as individuals with unique needs. But I think it's also important, and I know I'm not alone in this, to acknowledge real progress and improvements that we've seen. Thank you. We'll be sad to see you go, but hopefully we will keep up that positive momentum and keep making our schools better and better. Thank you to the school committee for helping her and Deputy Superintendent Allen achieve some real positive change. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Shauna Elliott. I am a resident of Worcester living on College Hill. I have boys in Hurd Street Discovery Academy. I'm here to comment on ROS 5-8 and specifically the benefits I've seen through the implementation of the wraparound program. Through our coordinator, Ms. Swan, we've had direct point of contact to raise needs, concerns, as well as an open line of communication that was keeping us informed of ways to increase guardian engagement in school activities, as well as ways to remain supportive to our students. Most importantly, it was Ms. Swan that nominated me for the Parent Leadership Training Program that has brought me here tonight. Through Worcester's People Empowering People, I've had the opportunity and privilege to meet amazing people like Anne, Echo, and now I'm graduating from the program, and I intend to have a stronger voice for the needs that our students are facing. This includes the after-school programs, as Echo's nonprofit has come up and speak about. I want to sincerely thank all of you for your time and efforts initiating and implementing the priorities of this strategic plan. And I truly believe that moving forward, carrying out these initiatives will only benefit our children and the city of Worcester. So thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
My name is Chelsea Pearson. I'm a Worcester resident. I'm the mother of 2 children, including a 4th grader in school. I'm here to address the ROS 5-8 report. My key concerns include enhancing mental health and wellness education and expanding access to affordable after-school care programs for the youth. The current freeze on the state vouchers presents significant challenges, and the clarification of their future is needed. Given the circumstances, what actions can the school committee maybe take at the city level to provide assistance? Also, the unavailability of the child care and after-school programs directly resulting from the voucher freeze necessitated things like my having to work part-time, and my inability to complete school. Thank you for all that you do every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. First, I'd like to say thank you for the students and these young scholars and these young people for coming out and speaking tonight and advocating. It's incredible. We appreciate you. Good evening. My name is Dina Tedeschi. I'm a Worcester resident. I also am a Worcester Public School parent of 1 graduate and 1 current 7th grader. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Menorez for all her and her team's work, your leadership, the hard work, dedication, determination to make things better for all of our scholars and families now and going forward. I was so saddened to read Dr. Menorez's post about her resignation. At the same moment, I'm also so hopeful for our schools and district to continue the momentum she has provided, including creating and fostering a great team of leaders and voices, true parent and community and family engagement, and with her amazing cabinet. Thank you. While I wish you were continuing this journey with us, I, like so many of us, recognize the importance of family, so thank you for all you've done, and the legacy you've left for us. I'd like to comment on CMP 5-2 regarding recognition of Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month at all Worcester Public Schools. I support this petition wholeheartedly and want to amplify the importance and acceptance, respect, and support of individuals with autism. Often there's an us versus them thought process when it comes to any differences. I want to suggest and encourage an in-school assembly for all students that really helps bring understanding, acceptance, and more compassion for those with autism, and for older scholars, perhaps more of a workshop, collaboration model, or role-playing to build understanding. The other comment I'd like to make is regarding GB 5-30. Based upon the presentation of the Amplify Science Curriculum pilot program at last week's TLSS meeting, I'm excited to see the district embrace this curriculum. It is well researched that when kids are exposed to science early, they build an appreciation for it. This is particularly important for girls of all colors and ethnicities, and it encourages these scholars to see themselves studying science as they get older and for more career choices and opportunities. And to wrap up, I'd like to once again express my deep appreciation to Dr. Menares for all she has done for the Worcester Public Schools, our students, our scholars, our families, and the staff and educators, as well as our community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Frances Anthes. I'm a resident of Worcester. Today, with the announcement from Superintendent Menares, we as a community have received what I feel is very sad news. And it is my respect and admiration for the job that the superintendent has done, which brings me to wish her all the best in her future and to recognize how lucky California is to get her. And we will miss her a lot. As others have said, I think the really important piece for us to follow forward with tonight is that the work that the superintendent has done for Worcester is an incredible gift. And it's our responsibility as school committee members, as community members, as parents, to follow through with that. What we have seen with the strategic plan, with the data-driven reports that she gives us in terms of learners' success, and with the engagement of our educators is remarkable and unlike something that we've seen in the recent past. So I think it's our job to move forward with that. Finally, I am the grandparent of a non-speaking 11-year-old who has autism, and I would really ask your support for item J. It's really important. What I've come to understand a little bit in the time since Liam's diagnosis is that we have to presume competence for our children with autism, and then we have to work really hard to understand them.
Thank you. Okay, we will, just want everybody okay, did your name say your residence?
My name's Victor. I'm from the Main South area. I got 4 children. My kids go to Columbus Park and Doherty High. And I want to thank the school attendants for all the good work she has done, all the improvement with the lunch. And we need, the issue with after-school program, we need a lot more programs so these kids don't have the idea of joining gangs and get away from street violence, because stop all the teens dying in the city. And just more programs so these teens, because they have a lot of talent, especially with music and all that. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to thank for everybody in the comments today, and echo thank you and your team there for coming out, well spoken, so I appreciate that. And we'll see you shortly, I would think, and some of your events that you hold. And so we were going to go now to the petition. To propose the following resolution in recognition of Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month in all Worcester Public Schools. The petitioner is Nellie Medina.
Hi, I'm just waiting for my baby, little boy.
My turn. Okay. Where's my speech?
To take it with you?
Yeah? No?
Are you?
Yeah.
Say good afternoon. You ready?
Hello, my name.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Vinola, and I am here to support Autism Awareness Month, celebrated in all public schools in Worcester. I believe that if more students understand what autism is, there will be less bullying and teasing, and everyone will be treated with respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for adding this to the agenda. I appreciate it. Before I start, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Menares, for all that you've done. You've laid a foundation for us to move forward. You've increased access for everyone, and I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you. Thank you for moving us forward, and thank you for showing us how. First, we must recognize that we are on the unceded land of the Nipmuc people. We honor and acknowledge the history and presence of Indigenous people on the land. In 2023, I ran for a seat on the Worcester School Committee and knocked on 4,000 doors. On almost every block in every neighborhood, I encountered children, youth, and adults on the autism spectrum, and many households had a family member or loved one on the spectrum. Most significant concerns expressed was about accessing educational opportunities. autism assessments, and recreational and after-school program spaces specifically for children with special needs, as well as basic information on autism services available outside of the Worcester Public School System. From 2000 to 2017, Massachusetts documented a 536% increase in the number of children with autism spectrum disorder in Massachusetts. And 14.3% were receiving special education accommodations for autism throughout the Commonwealth. The federal government is taking control of the Board of Education with an emphasis on eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion, particularly those initiatives related to special education accommodations. This proclamation is not only necessary but vital. While it isn't legally binding, it sends a strong message that we hold our schools to high standards and will remain committed to this cause. We sincerely appreciate our exceptional educators, paraeducators, and students, and we will continue to advocate for their equity, safety, and dignity. Worcester Public Schools is doing a commendable job of celebrating autism awareness and acceptance at some schools, but not all. This effort is inconsistent across all schools. The proclamation emphasizes the need for sorry, it threw me off. A unified observance of Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month at every Worcester Public School. Additionally, it calls for all schools to provide culturally responsive information about autism spectrum disorder and resources to all Worcester Public Schools families. We can achieve this by partnering with autism service providers and utilizing the CPAC, the SPEDPAC, and school site council volunteers at no cost to the Worcester Public Schools. This initiative will bring our community and our schools closer together. April 1st, 2025, on April 1st, 2025, the Worcester City Council voted unanimously to pass a similar proclamation, declaring April 2nd Autism Awareness Day in Worcester. The measure was supported by over 40 autism service providers, educators, advocates, and parents, including the Center for Living and Working, Open Sky, the NAACP, Citizens for Juvenile Justice, the Seven Hills Foundations, just to name a few. I ask on behalf of the parents in my district, throughout the city of Worcester, for the committee to support this proclamation, which will send a message to the autism community at a time when we are more vulnerable than ever. That Worcester Public Schools is committed to social and educational justice for all our students. Finally, we recognize and appreciate the families within the various communities and school districts in Worcester who care for students with autism. We see you, we appreciate you. We are in solidarity with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Millman?
I can't, community, students, teachers inspire me every day that I sit on this community. And to understand that this community and our families understand the connection and are telling us over and over again that the federal administration, through the chair, as you have pointed out, Mayor, and the horrific language that was used this week on this particular topic is a reason we need to stand strong and support this resolution and thank this community for bringing it forward. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to thank you for bringing the petition to the school committee. We will do a roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. Okay, so we are going to now go to the report of the superintendent, From Here to Anywhere, Together, Equitable Access to Academic Success and Future Ready, Part 2. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, through the chair. So as my dynamic team comes up to share and prepare themselves, first I want to thank the appreciation statements from the community. I know there'll be more opportunities for us to connect before we depart, but it was not an easy decision, and And yet I know Worcester Public Schools is in such a good place, and tonight is an example of where we're at, and I'm very thrilled to highlight this part 2 of the hard work. You will see evidence of vision of a learner in practice. We have been very intentional about not just creating systems at the district level, but then making sure that it gets down into our schools, because that's where our children are, that's where the staff is, that's where the change happens. It doesn't happen at a district office. And it is a team that does that work. And so because I know where we're at, I'm very confident about where things will go. And I do believe that you will see that and you will feel that with this presentation. And specifically, watch for evidence of the vision of a learner and how that is connected to the strategic plan and our promise to our future through this presentation. So next slide, Casey, thank you. So tonight you will specifically learn about the progress of vision of a learner implementation. Tonight specifically you're going to hear about our Spark coaches and our Spark teachers. The Spark School, which I want to take a pause and really thank Dr. Kyriasis, because 2 years ago when she was presenting to the committee on where we were going, I did a little bit of voluntold, but convinced her that this was the right thing for her to do, to take on a principalship and a director at the same time, and she did it at the Spark School. And so I want to thank you for that. I know that it has helped us as a district and cannot be replaced. So you're going to hear about the Spark School, and then you're going to hear about the learning journey and the digital portfolio. So this is where the district's going. Also presenting with Dr. Morris and Dr. Kyriasis is Annie Cohen, right, Annie? So Annie has been instrumental in this work, always behind the scenes, but truly not behind the scenes if you go to Wawikis, not behind the scenes if you are a Spark teacher. She is front and center. So thank you for being a part of this presentation. I was happy to see you walk through, or see you seated there. I also see some people in the audience that I know are instrumental in this too. Next slide, please. How does this connect to our promise to the future, our Worcester Public Schools plan? It is, again, aim 3 specifically, grow and create equitable, future-ready learning environments and opportunities to ensure our scholars are prepared for this evolving world, of which we're not quite sure what it'll look like in the future, but they will have the skills to adapt and be nimble and take us in the right direction. Next slide. And specifically, when you look at this promise, every single one of these indicators, percentage of principals who are confident in their understanding of implementing vision of a learner, percentage of educators confident in the understanding of implementing it, every single one of these is directly aligned to tonight's presentation. And although we don't have all the data to show that, you're going to see how we're planning to grow this. So little spoiler alert, you're going to hear about purple people. And we'll just keep that there, so look for the purple people. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Morris.
Through the chair, good evening. We're delighted to be here. My role tonight is just to frame this presentation. I think you're going to enjoy a lot of the student work that you're going to see and hear about. But tonight we're going to talk about the 3 implementation strategies that Dr. Benares pointed out: Spark coaches and teachers, what we're doing in our Spark School, and our exciting learning journey and digital portfolios. You're going to really, hopefully, have a feeling for what vision of a learner in action looks like, and about the innovative ways our district and classrooms are transforming the learning experience for all of our students. Dr. Sarah Kyriasis and Annie Cohen, as Dr. Benares said, have been a powerful force behind this effort, and they have been leading many dynamic efforts in our system. So our next slide is, I'm going to hand this over to Annie, and she's going to talk about the purple people.
I wanted to just say I'm truly very excited to be here and talk to you about the thing I'm most proud of in this district. I think our Spark coaches have been truly fantastic this year, and I'm thrilled to get to share all their hard work with you. I got to see them today, and they were very excited that we were going to talk about this. So I want to just tell you a little about Spark coaches. This year we have 17 coaches working across 12 schools. Each Spark coach is a building-based focused instructional coach who has partnered with teachers in their school to complete coaching cycles across the year. The Spark Coaches program has allowed us to build capacity across multiple schools, support innovative instruction in classrooms, and align our work with the vision of a learner. In addition to their work with teachers, coaches meet monthly, today was one of those days, to deepen their own coaching practice and collaborate on ways to bring Spark strategies to life in our schools. This shared learning space has been key to maintaining and strengthening instructional leadership. And looking ahead, we're prepared to launch Cohort 2 in the 2025-2026 school year, and at the same time, continue on with Cohort 1 and continue to support new teachers in their buildings through quarterly meetings and ongoing coaching cycles. Spark is also beginning to shape broader district priorities, helping inform curriculum renewal, professional development planning, and helping us create opportunities to expand Q-Team support to buildings across all quadrants. Next slide, please. Here come our purple people. So we're going to start by reflecting on how we got to here. Last year, we launched our initial Spark teacher cohort, training around 20 educators, and this proved invaluable in helping us understand what teachers really needed in order to be successful in integrating vision of a learner with innovative instruction and purposeful technology use at the core. Supported by 2 district-level coaches, the Spark teachers helped us see the power and the limitations of a model that relied solely on district support. We quickly realized that in order to expand our impact and embed these practices more deeply across schools, we need to build capacity from within. That insight led us to the model that we're using today, a true train-the-trainer approach, where building-based instructional coaches complete 4 deeply mentored coaching cycles throughout the year and develop skills and the confidence to carry those practices forward into their building for many years to come. Next slide, please. Looking ahead, we're excited to continue growing this initiative. In the 2025-26 school year, we'll launch Cohort 2, as I said, adding about 20 Spark coaches, each with opportunities to support 4 more teachers, while Cohort 1 continues with a second group of teachers in their building. And this expansion allows us to double our reach while maintaining strong embedded support in the schools. Next slide. Looking even further ahead, we can see how we're building momentum year after year, laying the groundwork for lasting change across those schools. Next slide. And as you can see, the impact of this work is designed to grow exponentially. By the 27-28 school year, we anticipate having over 75 Spark coaches supporting educators in the district, creating a powerful network for sustainable growth and sustainable change. We really think that this has the opportunity to create a more equitable access to the vision of a learner over the next 4 years. Next slide. In this video, you'll hear from 5 of our Spark coaches as they share how the program has influenced their coaching practice and made an impact on their schools.
My favorite part about Spark coaching was truly being able to work with some extremely talented teachers. I was able to work with them side by side for a full 2-month cycle, and within that cycle, we both were able to really learn way more about the vision of a learner, dig very deep into these dispositions, and bring some of those dispositions to life within the classroom and within our students. We were able to spark interest in that by sharing our journey together with the whole staff. And in that, we kind of organically spread the vision of a learner. I think Spark coaching is the best way to push out vision of a learner within your building.
My favorite part of Spark coaching this year has been the continuous support from our Q-Team coaches and the ability to work closely with teachers on innovative practices and the vision of a learner process.
The most rewarding aspect of being a Spark teacher is watching students' growth, students discovering their passions, and students developing a lifelong love of learning.
Being part of the Spark coaching program has been a wonderful experience for me. Being able to work with a lot of talented people, my fellow coaches, the Q team, to work together and share our ideas and our experiences as we try to bring vision of a learner to our classroom buildings. It's been awesome.
As a new coach, I cannot overstate how supportive the Spark program has been for me. Really through our meetings and through the materials that they have provided us, such as the Spark Planner, I feel that I was given a structure for how to really have a meaningful coaching cycle with a teacher. You know, beginning with a problem of practice, discussing innovative practices, thinking about how we could tie in vision of a learner, anticipating obstacles, planning implementation, then following up with feedback and reflection. Having that structure in place really helped me, I feel, make some meaningful change in the instruction in my building, and I know that the teachers that I worked with really felt like they saw a change in their practice as a result. I think being in Spark is also a wonderful opportunity because it was a chance to meet with other coaches across the district, some like me, brand new in their role, but others, people who have been in that role for some time. And so being able to learn from other people's experiences, gain practical advice, brainstorm solutions to potential problems has been really invaluable. I also liked the opportunity to meet with members of the Q team, both my own Q team, but also Q teams across the district, and to really kind of learn all the different resources that are available to teachers in this district. So I would recommend Spark to anyone.
Thank you. Next slide, please. The quote that's up on the screen now, I think, really embodies what it means for Spark teachers to exist in the Spark teacher sort of realm. As you can see, they mentioned that working on lessons that engage students in the real world thinking and being supported by a coach has completely changed how this educator sees their role. This work builds confidence, renews energy, and reaffirms the power of collaborative growth. Next, we will look at some examples of units that Spark coaches and their teacher partners have built together. To deepen their understanding of the Odyssey, 9th grade students at North High School staged a mock trial of Odysseus. With the support of the Spark coach, the teacher crafted an engaging debate-style lesson that wove together literary analysis, critical thinking, and perspective-taking, all grounded in the vision of a learner. Next slide. At Jacob Hyatt, 6th graders applied the engineering and design process to solve real-world challenges, this time designing a functional knee brace. This hands-on science project, co-developed by the teacher and the Spark coach, gave students an authentic opportunity to think like engineers and engage in an iterative problem-solving process, directly aligned to the problem solver indicators in vision of a learner. Next slide. While studying yellow fever in ELA, 6th grade students at Belmont Street School used video creation to share what they had learned. The project, shaped in partnership with the Spark coach, fostered student voice and creativity while offering a meaningful avenue for demonstrating learning aligned to the vision of a learner. Next, we will watch a short video that brings this work to life, and you'll be able to hear directly from one of those students on how this experience shaped their learning.
Just before we go there, just ask, can you go, sir, can you go off your phone up there so we can not disturb the meeting? Sir? Sir? Can you actually just keep it down, please? Thank you. Go ahead.
Great. We're going to go to the next side and play. Yeah, it's great. I work at a school. This happens all the time.
My classroom worked on Unit 2, which was Mysteries and Investigations, and we focused in on the yellow fever unit. We worked on organizing a note catcher so that they could organize all of the notes throughout the unit. Then they integrated AI while they were chatting with characters in the chat bot, and then we used all of that information from the note catcher, and we effectively communicated what we learned through making a documentary on Canva.
Hello, I am Mahomina. Hello, I am Miss Ayeli. Hello, I am Devin. And we are talking about the yellow fever outbreak. Tell me the 3 theories of how yellow fever spreads.
Some people believe that yellow fever spread through objects or surfaces that were contaminated. These could be clothes, bedding, or other items that a sick person had touched. Another theory suggested that yellow fever was caused by tiny organisms or germs that could be passed from person to person. This theory, which was later proven to be correct.
How did this project help you become an effective communicator?
It helped me become an effective communicator by letting me and my teammates put our own creativity into the documentary, use our own faces and voices to talk to the people that's watching our documentary. It also made us express our creativity more through the documentary by using pictures, backgrounds, and other stuff.
I'm not sure how well you could hear the beginning of that, but that class used AI chatbots in which they were asking questions about famous people who were part of the yellow fever time period and the goings on of that period. And then they created documentaries using AI to have conversations with those people and bring them to life. So it was a pretty powerful experience for those kids. All right, and next slide, please. And with that, I'll pass that to Sarah Curiasis.
Thank you, Annie. So as a reminder, the Spark School was put in place so that the district could develop, the previous slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Could develop an understanding of school-based needs in the context of this huge shift. At the Spark School, we try new things at a more accelerated pace than the rest of the district. We engage in short pilots and design cycles. Some of these things we take onto the district, and some of the things we realize that they don't work and we abandon them. But we do it very quickly. Current progress includes the integration of the vision of a leader into vision of a learner into all overarching systems. We have piloted unit and lesson planning with a focus of innovation, and we have piloted elements of the learning journey, including artifacts, reflections, and tools at all grade levels with all of our classrooms. We also have 3 separate transitional life skill classrooms in the school, which make up about a fourth of the school, so we pilot this in all of our classrooms. Our plan for continuation is to add Code to the Future, which is an international network and structure to bring block coding into elementary school. We'll be piloting that with another school, grades 4, 5, 6, and then our intermediate transitional life skills classroom. We will also expand the unit planning to add true project-based learning, and we'll also pilot gateways for the learning journey. Next slide, please. This is a sampling of some of the systems we have integrated Vision of a Learner into. At WEA-TV, when we look at developing new systems or refining existing systems, we ask ourselves, how will this support the vision of a learner? How will this support our students to gain those skills and dispositions? Some examples of innovative components we have tried. This is a 3rd grade class this was just last week. Oh, next slide, please. Sorry. This is a 3rd grade class just last week who was studying the International Space Station in their CKLA unit, and they were learning how to write and program robots, little robots, that pretended to be a rocket ship to land at the International Space Station. So they were using problem solving, communication, and all different types of skills of vision of the learner. Next slide. Yep, stay there. Thank you. In the 2nd grade class, these students completed insect projects as another extension to their CKLA unit. Students researched an insect of their choice and created an artifact that accurately and creatively shared information about the insect they researched. This artifact will live in their digital portfolio. Often when students submit an artifact to their portfolio, there is either a written or verbal recording of how they applied the indicator to their learning. This indicator was engaged community member. I can create content, including digital content, in a way that is accurate and or artistic. Next slide, please. So that was just a little snapshot of what we've been doing at WEA-TV, and we will continue to do that as we move forward. The last strategy is the learning journey in digital portfolios. We have created a framework for the district that contains firm and flexible components in the form of a learning journey playbook that we will be giving out to schools at the end of this year. As we saw before, at the Spark School, we piloted elements, and now we're ready to take on a cohort of schools to start this work that will begin to adopt and implement. All schools will be implementing at some stage by the end of the strategic plan. We are in the process of recruiting the early adopter schools that will create a design team that will work next year on how to implement this in their schools. Each school is unique, and we believe that the schools should build their plans based on their student needs, but still fit into the district expectations. They will follow the firm and flexible guidelines we have set up and be supported every step of the way. So our goal is that we have a cohort of 8 to 12 schools that will come along on this journey, and then from there, till the end of the strategic plan, we'll continue to build till we're at full implementation. Next slide, please. This is an updated, this is different from what was printed. I realized I put the wrong one in, so just take a look at this. This is an updated learning journey. It spans grades K to 12 with a reflection in second grade, and then gateway projects in 6th grade, 8th grade, and either 11th or 12th grade. These checkpoints give students opportunities to reflect on their growth, showcase their learning, and demonstrate progress towards the vision of a learner. Next slide, please. At WEA-TV, we piloted about 4 to 5 different portfolio tools, all of which we are not using. So that's one of the benefits of piloting before you go to 50 schools. So we haven't selected a final platform yet, but we are in the progress of identifying one that best meets our needs, and both for the ease and also the alignment to vision of a learner. So this is an example of what one could look like. Next slide, please. All of the tools we have piloted have allowed students to organize their artifacts by grade level and by vision of a learner disposition. So it's just an example of what that might look like. This structure helps students and teachers see growth over time and track how skills develop across different subjects and experiences. Next slide, please. So I talked a lot about artifacts, and what we've been piloting at WEA-TV are artifacts. The artifacts happen in the typical classroom, and the reflection on the vision of a learner indicator will go into the portfolio along with that artifact. So our hope that we talked about last time is that students have many, many opportunities in all of their classes to dig in deep to the vision of a learner and to work on artifacts. But then what they select that go into their portfolio is really what the artifact is. And the portfolio is a tool that will hold artifacts from their entire journey here at Worcester Public Schools. So this is a first grade project from WEA-TV. It's a great example of an artifact for a digital portfolio highlighting effective communicator. Students recorded and presented their work to classmates, practicing how to express ideas clearly for a real audience. As Veronica shared, when I share my work, I feel excited because I like talking about my work to other people. And Marat added, I feel happy and proud because I can show what I learned. Even our youngest learners are building the confidence and skills to share their thinking with purpose. Next slide, please. In this 4th grade class at WEA-TV, students turned a personal learning goal into a creative, peer-focused solution. After identifying multiplication fluency as a growth area, they designed games to help classmates practice. The work reflects curious learner, pursuing goals through self-reflection and perseverance, and serves as a strong addition to their digital portfolios. One student, Elena, shared, making my multiplication game helped me reach my goal because I was able to remember my facts by the end. When I do something that is fun and work-related, it helps me learn. This artifact shows how goal setting can be both academic and joyful, anchored in a student choice and motivation. Next slide, please. Here's a sample artifact from another 4th grade. I think it's important to understand how other people feel so you can help them. This simple insight shared by a 4th grade student during advisory at WEA-TV reflects the depth of thinking that can emerge from intentional social-emotional learning. Through activities focused on empathy and perspective taking, students practice engaged community member 1, advocate for themselves and others through the lens of equity and social justice. Artifacts like these, centered on student voice and real-world relevance, offer a meaningful way to document growth in social-emotional learning and civic awareness within a digital portfolio. Next slide, please. So, Annie and some of the Burncoat Quadrant Q team have also worked with Burncoat High School Life Skills Classroom. They're working on digital portfolios as well. And so in the Burncoat High School Life Skills class, students have been exploring what it means to be a curious learner, discovering their strengths, interests, and goals for the future. Educators are intentionally weaving this vision of a learner disposition into daily instruction, while also helping students document their reflections in their digital portfolios. This artifact work doesn't just capture classroom learning, it directly supports students as they develop transition plans for life after high school. Artifacts like these show how curiosity, when nurtured, becomes a powerful tool for self-understanding and future planning. Next slide, please. At Burncoat High School, an inclusion teacher is working with students in their study skills class to set personal academic goals that help them better access their learning. In collaboration with general education teachers, students are tracking their progress and reflecting on growth in their digital portfolios aligned to Curious Learner. This work builds student ownership while supporting meaningful, personalized learning across content areas. As you have heard through our overview of the last 3 strategies, the work is being done to implement the vision of a learner. It's multifaceted and it's long, deep work. It doesn't happen overnight. We look forward to continue to deepen and extend this work next year into more schools. And on a personal note, I just want to thank Dr. Menares for trusting me to do 2 different things at once, and for really letting us try things and fail things and try again. I apologize, I'm sick today. But so as you can see, I think we really illustrated how we're doing this in gen ed, in special ed, with all of our students. That's what we really wanted to get the message across today. So thank you. Oh, Dr. Morse.
Dr. Morse?
So I'm closing it up. So as we continue to evolve, our district office focus must also keep pace. So the former Office of Ed Tech, which was Sarah's office, will be rebranded next year as the Office of Innovation. We have learned at lightning speed in this district, and we must keep an eye on the future, and we need leadership in education that involves innovation. So I'm excited to share that Dr. Kay and her team and Annie will be leading these efforts for the Worcester Public Schools, because our mission has expanded from focusing on ed tech's tools to supporting the growth of the district and ensuring that our students are prepared and future ready. So with that, I turn it over to Dr. Menares.
Dr. Menares?
Thank you. So I will do the final exclamation point before the committee asks your questions. So first and foremost, I do want to make sure that you, on the people, I keep doing that, purple people, that everyone understands. The coaches that are referred to, the Spark coaches in there, those are existing positions. Those are not new positions. Those are our focus instructional coaches that are already at our schools. So the principals at different schools that have said, we want to take this on now, and so we are training them. So I just don't want, it's really it's further expanding what we already have, but not an additional cost to the district. That's really important, I think, for everyone to understand. And the little purple people are actually teachers in the classroom, right? So we're growing the capacity of our focus instructional coaches and coaches at the district office, and the purple people are educators in the classroom. So no additional cost, but a whole lot of additional skill and knowledge that's being developed. So that's really important. I want to make sure you understand that. And then I just want to close out. When we think about our youth today and the impact of social media on our children, no longer is a gold star submitted on a piece of paper back to a child enough to encourage them to want to do more. Social media has changed the way that children want to be recognized. It's a public space now. People look to see, we've got one of our scholars here, and you're always looking for the likes and the hearts, and they would need that. They need that public. And that's what society has trained them to think, right? The norm has shifted. And so when we think about the work that the Spark program offers, it also includes where children are doing public displays. What we saw for the school over at Belmont, the presenting to each other. What we saw in terms of their ability to choose the artifact that they want others to evaluate and put it into their portfolio, whether they're in a special education setting or gen ed setting, it doesn't matter. They have ownership in it, and they get to decide what's going to happen, and they get to publicly share. That's what our children expect. If we want to keep them engaged, then we need to change the way that we do things, and it's slight changes, but it'll make a big difference for our scholars, and it'll prepare them for their future. So I am really excited about this work for Worcester Public Schools, and I again want to thank the team, and I want to thank my pioneer educators out there that have been willing to take this on, as well as the principals who have said, go ahead and make some mistakes, it's okay. We get better with mistakes. So with that, I turn it back to you, Mayor Petty.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Member Biancaria.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much. This is very informative, very detailed. Great stuff going on. I just have a few questions in reference to when you are talking about the Future Ready Learning Organization and pulling this all together. What is the tie-in with science in this area? Is there a tie-in with science?
Dr. Morso.
So all of the work that we're doing for Vision of a Learner and indicators tie into every single subject. So science would be included in that. So there isn't like something additional for science. We're doing this in every single subject area, if that makes sense.
Okay, and the reason I ask that is an area that we sometimes drop off on. We look at other areas, but we don't always tie in the science piece with this. So you feel as though at this point in time, it covers every area, including the science?
So the work we're doing this year is piloting this in many different schools, many different classrooms. A lot of the elementary teachers are choosing CKLA to pilot it in right now because the curriculum is there. I think with the introduction of the new curriculum, the new science curriculum, there'll be more opportunities for it to be interwoven in. I think because we have the math curriculum and we have the CKLA curriculum really solid and the teachers are really comfortable with it now, it's more naturally being tied into there. And I think as in the elementary schools, as we bring in the new curriculum, they'll be tying it in more in science than what we are this year. But again, this year is just the first pilot year. As the years go on, and especially at the secondary level, if it's a science teacher doing this, they're going to tie it into science.
Excellent.
Yeah. So in the secondary level, the teachers are more content teachers, so they will be tying it in. But at the elementary level, definitely with the new curriculum, we'll have more opportunities for that.
Thank you. Also, when you look at, you're talking K through 12. So I noticed that there's a portfolio in grade 6, but then you move to grade 11 when portfolio was brought back in. What are we doing in between those pieces to ensure that they're still building on their portfolios?
Yeah, through the chair. So the portfolio is happening in every grade K, okay. 1, 2, 3. What's happening in those gateway years are, and the schools will develop what this means for those students in their school, but they're gateway projects. So a gateway project could be where the students in 6th grade have their families come in and they're presenting their entire portfolio to their families. Okay. Or it could be a culmination project, a community service project that tie in all the things and reflection on that project. So every school will develop what that looks like that meets the needs of their students. But every year the students, once we're at full capacity, which is going to take a couple of years, every year the students will be adding artifacts to the digital portfolio. So it will be cumulative up until grade 12.
So it is a build-up?
Yes, yes.
So if they started in the 6th grade where we're bringing this in?
Yes.
So at that particular grade level, they have the opportunity to continue to build their portfolio, yes. Even though they weren't introduced to this in the 1st grade?
There'll be, if you mean for students that move into the district?
No, just in the grade levels that you're working with, not every student will have it in the 1st grade, but they might be brought on board in the 6th grade when you go into a classroom.
Dr. Morris?
Just for clarity, the portfolios will start in kindergarten, and they will go, and then at the 6th grade level is when the school will decide what will this public showcase, if you will, or something like that will look like. But we will be starting K1, 2. They will choose the artifacts that will go in there.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because not every grade level will start in kindergarten. The program won't start just with kindergarten and then move up.
When we get to full implementation, that will be the plan. In the meantime, we've got this in between, right? So as we're developing,
that's why I was asking about
Correct.
the in between. Thank you, Superintendent. Okay. Thank you. And then, lastly, when you look at your current progress, you ask for your next steps. You have down create support materials and then you also have purchase portfolio tool. And I'm wondering, to create the support materials, do you have the discussion of how you're going to be funding these two areas presently, or is it something that you're looking for the future to do to administration?
Through the chair. The support materials we create in our office, we like to create a lot of materials. So we have like a guide that's already created that it's going through some revisions. The digital portfolio tool, we have identified funding for that within our existing budget for next year.
So we're all set for 25, 26, correct?
Yes, because next year we're just going to be piloting it in some more schools, so the cost is going to be low next year.
Okay. So we should actually look at this to evaluate it at some point in 25, 26, so then we can determine that we need to then purchase additional materials as we move forward. Because you wouldn't be necessarily having the bill this time, but we would need the funding the next time. Is that correct?
Through the chair. Yeah, this year we'll have a smaller purchase because we'll be doing it in only 10 schools, and we won't be doing it in every single grade level, but then the
Okay.
following year.
Okay, but the following year will be something we would definitely need to take a look at then.
Most likely.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Member McCullough?
Thank you, and thank you so much for the presentation. It certainly is exciting hearing both parts of the future-ready learners between our initial presentation with part one and now with part two. And I don't know, it's just so exciting to see what's going on in the classrooms. And I mean, just presentation to see the students being able to put their work out there, to put forward what they're learning. And not only are we showing through this type of work and this portfolio system that they have learned and understood, but they're able to share that information back with others. And reading those quotes and comments of the students of being able to say that they really enjoy talking about their work and sharing their pieces with others, and understanding that in these showcases that they're going to be able to kind of choose what they want going into their portfolio as well, so that when it is showcased at even a grander level, that really they have so much ownership in that work and understanding the knowledge. I absolutely love that it's in all classrooms. I mean, when we talk about the all means all, that this isn't just, you know, your traditional classroom setting. This is for students in all different ability levels and spaces, and how it can really interact with them. I was reading over the updates for the student handbook that are going to send to FOG, and I was so happy to see a section in there about AI and usage around AI and the importance of using it as a tool, and how we really need to embrace that in appropriate and ethical ways for our students, and how this really ties into a lot of that as well, because there's so much AI usage going on with these types of projects. And I think sometimes people use AI and they don't even know they're using AI. So it's just really incredible that our students are utilizing tools like that to put their work together, and that it's not being talked about in a punitive way or a bad way, right? You know, I mean, we know that there are ways that students shouldn't use it. It shouldn't be like, write my essay, but how do you use it to brainstorm? How do you use it to come up with edits or critiques or other ways of thinking? And then using those tools that tie in with things like Canva and whatever else that they're using at their fingertips so readily to really make them future ready and tie into the vision of a learner. I do appreciate Member Benenda asking the budgetary question, and the superintendent also sharing that this doesn't come, you know, as an additional cost to continue to, did I say Benenda? Biancaria, sorry, close. Member Biancaria, not close, close by seating, sorry, apologize. Sorry about that, I'm just so excited about the portfolios. Just really great to see how the students can understand the touch points and milestones as well that come with the projects. And, you know, I love that we're adjusting things to the Office of Innovation, right? Because innovation really is everything, and it's encompassing not only the tech parts, but all of the different parts of what we're trying to do with our students. You know, and we were kind of laughing over here. We liked one of the examples of goal setting, and what is my goal to be to get to school on time? How do I do this? Be on time. So, you know, it seems pretty straightforward. I said I would share that with my 18-year-old as well. But I just love that it's really including all of our students in all different ways and helping them have benchmarks. So I thank you so much for this work. I'm really excited to continue to see what's going on. Love all the interdisciplinary learning. and the future-ready work for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Member Benenda?
Good evening, everybody. I just had a couple of questions. I think the work is fascinating. That is definitely happening, and looking at the project-based work. My question is just trying to understand, how are we assessing if it's working? So we saw that, we could set a 13% decrease in scores this year from last year on the MCAS. And so my question is, why do you think that happened, Sarah? And how are we assessing how it's actually affecting math and reading scores?
Through the chair. So just a reminder that MCAS scores were from last year, and we've done a whole nother year of implementation. And we were working previously, our scholars were the teachers didn't have the materials they needed in order to teach children how to read. Now children are starting to read. I actually remember being at Wauwika's last school year towards the end of the year, and I'm going to say 75% of that kindergarten classroom were reading by themselves to each other on grade level. I see it in our classrooms all the time. Unfortunately, the data is not going to catch up yet. The children haven't taken the MCAS. They don't take it for a couple more years. So I don't know if it's necessarily an accurate comparison to say that the work that's going on in Spark isn't playing itself out in MCAS. MCAS is one tool to measure achievement, but it's not everything. And what we do know is that our data this school year has shown an increase in STAR across the board, an increase in our reading scores in terms of children who are reading at grade level, a 5% increase, if I remember, from middle of year last year to middle of their year this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what those results will look like at the end of this school year. I'm going to be bugging you to send me that, all of you, while I'm in California, because I do believe there's growth. But I just don't think that it's necessarily an apple-to-apple comparison when our teachers and our scholars didn't have the materials that they needed at the time, and now they do, but they're still behind, and we're catching them up. So appreciate the question, Member Benenda. We're well aware of the need to grow as a district, and we keep working on that. What Spark does is it actually gets children engaged in their learning. It gets them thinking in a more integrated manner, which is what we know they need to be successful in the workforce, in college, as they move forward. And I will tell you that when I go to the schools, I see my educators really excited about teaching and learning. And we all know being a teacher is not easy. People think it is. I've seen people say that teachers work half a day. We all know that is not the truth. And it is a very challenging career to be in now more than ever, I'd say. And so I think that this has given a new level of excitement. So I'm going to ask that Dr. Kyriasis, I don't think that she needs to necessarily respond to that. I've responded for her. And so if you have another question, we're happy to respond to that.
Member Benenda?
Through the chair, thank you for your response. I too, like the idea of students getting involved in the work using technology. And that's why I was surprised to see that it didn't show in test scores. I would assume it would show in all test scores, not just the MCAS, because students are becoming independent thinkers and learners. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this expands and how this actually does show up in our students' work in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, see nobody else. We can approve in the file. Roll call. And, by the way, thank you for your presentations. You did a great job. Much appreciated.
Ready?
Yep.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Raphael, if you want to introduce yourself, let people, your student representative, and where you're from. And
Hi, my name is Raphael. I'm from Gerald Creamer Center. Nice to meet you guys.
what's that? Thank you. Oh, you might have to do it again. Oh, yeah. Oh, is the microphone on? There you go.
Hi, I'm Rafael De Jesus. I'm from Gerald Creamer Center. Thank you.
Thank you. We have to upgrade your picture on the pamphlet here. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have, let's see, report of standing committee on TLSS as it reads. Do we take a roll call? Roll call?
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman? Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next item is to consider approval of the Amplify Science Curriculum Pilot Program. Motion is...
That's part of the TLSS report.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, I get that. Next is approval of grants and other finance items. Any questions on the finance items? Member Biancaria?
Yes. Approval of the grants, when we look at this, to consider approval of the grant funding to support summer food service program, is that going to be the same program where the van travels through different areas of the city, specific to students perhaps working on the rec program in our parks, whether it be at the water parks, whether it be programs that we support, and activities that are going throughout the city at this particular time?
Through the chair, the short answer is yes. We're coordinating with each of those agencies now on what summer program may look like and what food service, how we can support them through the summer.
Ironically enough, I had someone ask me this question yesterday, and she actually works at City Hall. Her students are involved in the rec program, and that's what they were asking, is if we were doing the same program. So we foresee that we'll have that availability for our kids. Because I know we were doing students up to 18, and then we also had days where we had snacks and so on for adults. Are we going to continue with that?
Mr. Allen?
Through the chair, so specifically, we've been already in conversation with Rec Worcester and working with them on summer feeding. More specifically, so we've reverted to post-COVID rules around school nutrition, so we are limited to the feeding K-12 students only.
K-12.
Depending on time of day or meal, for example, I think Rec Worcester, we're talking about providing at least 2 meals per day.
Right.
So again, whatever the program is, we're trying to meet their needs, but it has to be in alignment with the existing USDA guidelines.
Once that is completed and you have that list completed, is it possible, I'll make a motion that we receive that as school committee members, so we're familiar with the areas that will be the drop-offs and the programs will be occurring during the summer?
Through the chair, so the final list is not yet complete, but when it is, certainly.
When it is completed, that's fine.
Okay, sure.
Make a motion for that. Thank you. And then just quickly on the Career Connected Learning Program Development, $35,000. That is a grant for hands-on, and it says district-wide, and I didn't know if administration was able to let me know if when it actually seemed as though we were buying tools for the career connection here, and I just didn't know when it said district-wide, are we buying tools for each individual school, or are they sharing, or how are we doing this?
Through the chair. So this is for the construction craft laborers. So it was a new grant that came out for the $35,000. When we brought this program on, we obviously only came in 9th grade, and we had to wait to purchase all the machinery and the things that we need for that operation. And in order for it to be approved, we had to do all of that. So we're now able to advance that and purchase more things and extra materials, because as they've used them with that program, obviously you use the material, you need the same material for using the wood and the blue board, and wood, et cetera. So it's helping us to purchase those things also in advance of that too.
So it's not just one particular school, it's...
It's particular to the construction craft labor at Doherty.
At Doherty?
Yes.
Okay, so this
For this
is not
particular one.
tied into the one that is also at Worcester Tech where they're
There's a
working?
different.
There is set up
Correct.
differently. Okay, so this is specific to Doherty? Because that's why I was asking, because it said district-wide. Okay. Do we have an after-school program at Doherty High School for that particular area at this point, or is it just school?
We have the Innovation Career Pathways, which has the carpentry and construction program at Worcester, which takes place at Worcester Tech, but there's not an after-school program for that yet. We only have the
Okay.
ninth graders there, but we do run the ICP program with students from Doherty that
Okay.
take part in construction.
Okay, that's, all right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, subject to finance items, motion is to approve, roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, we have general business, a response to the administration. I just received a report regarding how many special education teachers were laid off due to the fiscal year 25 budget cuts and how their jobs have changed. This data should be broken down by disability. For example, what does it say? LD teachers moved from LD classroom to the regular classroom, and how many were laid off?
Miss, can I?
Oh,
can I
I'm
speak?
sorry. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Member Benenda?
Yes, so actually that report did not answer my question. I really wanted to know how many special education teachers, number of them, what schools they were at, and how they are no longer just doing, for example, learning disabilities. They have now been moved into teachers of moderate special needs. And though I do know they hold the same license, their experiences and their training are very different. So I would really like to reject that report and actually get the answer that I requested. Thank you.
Okay. Do you understand the question? Okay, so we can do a motion and get the reports, so we can file this one. Motion is to file and get reports. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
No.
Member Biancaria?
Can you explain that again?
So we're
Mayor,
gonna
what-
I was gonna file, the motion is to file this report.
But we haven't got the answer,
Yeah,
the question.
Then they ask for a, okay, so we can send it back to the administration. We can do it that way.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm hang on 1 second. Did I miss it? Okay, yeah, so we're gonna file this. Okay, this is what we thought Member Benenda asked for. And so we're gonna file this report. Then she has requested for additional information. So we can take that in 2 separate roll calls. Yes, yep. Yep.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Now the question is, Member Benenda has asked for additional information on the roll call.
Member Alvarez?
No.
Can,
There's a
Hang on.
Mr. Chair,
Before doing so?
can we just clarify what information she's looking for
Sure.
again?
Member Benenda,
I'm sorry.
could you repeat your request?
Yes, through the chair. It's really important that special education students get the extra, whatever's listed in their IEP, the extra services or the accurate services. It has really come to my attention that the number of learning disability teachers have been decreased to the fact that students are not receiving direct LD services from LD teacher as they were in the past. Many teachers have been moved into classrooms and are classroom teachers. So it's important to realize what are those numbers, how many special education teachers that were LD teachers, and their skills are very different. You can have a license, but your training is different. So these LD teachers worked in small groups with students or one-on-one, and now many of them are gone into classrooms as teacher or moderate special needs. So my question is, how many teachers did we do this to? How many LD teachers that were just doing LD services, meeting with one or several small groups of students, have now been moved into being classroom teachers? That's the question, because there is information out there that we're not servicing the kids the way we need to service them.
Yeah, member, I'm sorry, Madam Superintendent? Madam Superintendent?
Through the chair, so we talked a lot about this at budget last year. The licensing of the teachers are the same. In Worcester Public Schools, there had been time over years where IEPs were included a special program that then, and there was actually 2 of them, right? 2 reading programs, if I'm correct, Dr. Morris, that then the district at the time decided to take teachers with the same license and have them support this particular program because they trained those teachers. But we have trained many teachers with that same program. So we are meeting what is in the IEP. If we weren't, then we would be breaking the law, and we're not doing that. So I want to clarify that. I also want to clarify that our, and I always do the acronym wrong, TMSN, did I say it right? Okay, TMSNs, they don't have a full class. They either pull out or they push in. So they're always working in small groups, and they're either pushing into the general education classroom, which I've seen that in practice, or they're pulling out small groups based off of IEP. So I'm a little confused on the way it's being shared. I'm not sure what was shared with you, Member Benenda, but the TSMN, I know I said it wrong. And we're talking specifically at the elementary school, because we didn't make any change at the middle or high school. They always are in small group, again, outside of the classroom or pushed into the classroom. So I just want the committee to understand that that has not changed. I also want to put on record that we are meeting what the IEP says. We would never blatantly not meet the IEP. If for some reason we have a vacancy, then we backfill with the necessary compensatory education. But we are not blatantly breaking the law for our children with special needs. That being said, I'll leave it at
Sure.
that.
Okay, does that answer your question? Member Benenda?
Actually, that wasn't true. There were teachers that were moved from secondary to elementary. They were LD teachers working in secondary schools that were moved to elementary. We're not given choices as to where their placement was. So that's one. Number 2 is, I know that, again, the license is the same. My concern is that before the students were getting direct service, and now some of these teachers have moved into what they have, special education classrooms. So I just want to know, budget is coming up. I want to know if that's something we need to look at again. So I would really like to know how many teachers that were learning disabilities teachers got moved into moderate special needs classrooms. And I don't know that, and nobody else knows that, and that might be a budget item that we really need to address.
Okay, roll call.
Member Alvarez?
No.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
No.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
No.
Member McCullough?
No.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, that was.
5-4.
Okay. Okay, that was defeated 5-4. Okay.
I think that passed.
Yes, passed.
Oh, past 5-4, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that passed. Thank you.
Okay, response to administration. We are on request to provide additional information on the recent Worcester Public School Staff Mid-Year Post-Check Survey on Culture, Climate, and Safety. We can file that if you want. Okay, roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman? Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes, to authorize a 6-year contract for the approved Amplify Science, Reveal Math, and Study Sync ELA curriculum. Motion is to approve and to file. Prior to doing so, Member Mailman?
Can you just, and I feel like I missed something somewhere, can you just clarify the cost through the chair,
Mr. Allen?
or the terms?
Through the chair, so last meeting, you approved the purchase of the textbooks.
Correct.
However, our license agreement is extended beyond 3 years. So I can get into the details in a second. I just want to explain what the vote is actually for. So our license agreements for each of the curricula is for a 6-year period. That's what you're approving, is for us to enter into a license agreement for 6 years.
Thank you, yep. And the dollars?
So Amplify Science is about $3 million that was purchased through the one-time free cash that we received this year that was already approved by the school committee. Reveal Math is about $1.5 million purchase over a 4-year period. And Study Sync is $1.1 million over 2 years.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so the motion is to approve and to file. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next item is to budget to fully fund a special course at Worcester Arts Magnet School. Member McCullough?
Thank you, and I just wanted to make a note that the item should be to budget to fully fund special chorus, not a special chorus. Special chorus is an offering at Worcester Arts Magnet School that is provided as part of the curriculum at the school, and we already provide the, I guess you'd say, educator for that initiative, and this, I believe, is a smaller dollar amount, so I'd ask that this go to FOG for consideration so that it takes off some of the burden of fundraising that some of these families do for an actual offering that we currently provide.
Member Mailman?
Can you just clarify the cost? It was 40,000 if I...
My understanding is that what I'm looking for is about $3,000. It's the money that parents have to raise to send the kids to their
Okay.
performances.
I'm
We already have the consultant. I'm not asking anything about that. My item is literally just to kind of take some of the fundraising burden off of the families, because that's feedback I've gotten from the community.
Thank you, through the chair. Can we also, I mean, as we go to budget with some of these additional items for us, and we think, I mean, I think we talked about after school a lot. I thought that was a great program today that we heard about. Although we've said, you know, we can't really look at equity-based funding, I really think that there are maybe pockets in the extracurricular that we can think about. So I really want us to, this is a elementary school, but I wonder if these other elementary schools that may not have the opportunity to raise the kind of dollars that these rock stars at Worcester Arts Magnet raise typically, I wonder if we can just consider that. So when it goes to FOG at this juncture through the chair, this will be something that is considered as part of what the district puts forth for recommendations. Is that correct?
Madam Superintendent?
Through the chair, so it would go to FOG, then it would be discussed there, and then yes, this is a very small amount, so it for the most part would be kind of insequential, or is that the right word, to include it in, I think I made a word up, into the budget.
And this is part of the 6 special, I think, that Worcester Arts Magnet has. Am I understanding that right?
I don't believe, through the chair, I don't believe it is actually part of the specials. It's part of the art magnet program.
Okay. Okay, so it has nothing to do with any after-school work. This is something parents have raised money for that is part of our curriculum.
They may practice after school. That would be true. And they do a lot of traveling, which includes after school.
So I just would like to make the point again that we consider the after-school stuff and the equity-based funding model. I think there's definitely still things that we consider this year, even without additional dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. So motion to refer to FOG. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Next is review and make necessary changes to 25-26 Worcester Public School Student Handbook. I'm going to refer that to FOG. All set? Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson? Yes. Member Mailman?
Yes.
Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. To request administration make school committee aware of any administrative personnel changes.
Mayor Patty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, as we came, I guess we do have a personnel change, and as we became aware today and acknowledged, and I'll just start off really quick, and I'll make my comments after the superintendent speaks. But I just want to acknowledge all the great work you've done, and you're the real deal. So I'll let you speak, and then I'll get up and speak, Superintendent.
Thank you, through the chair. Wasn't quite sure what I was going to say this evening. And first, I'll just say that I'm going to see through the end of the school year, so I'm not gone yet. But I do want to really thank the school committee who hired me, the school committee that is going to see me off, for the support in allowing us to do what we need to do for the scholars in Worcester Public Schools. I want to thank the families. I am overwhelmed with the amount of care and love and commitment to our children in this community. And so even when there is what I will refer to as unnecessary noise, I know that there are people you just love your children so much, and we love them too. So I want to recognize that. This was not an easy decision. I love the team that I work with. I know that I will never replace them. I'm not going to look at them. They're not happy with me, but they understand, because this is very much a decision made in the best interest of my family. And as the article said, I thought, gosh, of all the things I said, that was the quote they chose. But that's okay, Jesse. My husband is, he kind of liked that he was included in that. But, you know, those are the hard decisions you make as adults, right? And to my scholars, those are the hard decisions you're going to have to make as you grow up, right? That you could be somewhere and you can love everything that you're doing, but if your mate, if your family is not there, you have to trust that there are different things out there for you, and you can do that too, right? Because the family is truly the most important. And for those who know, my husband is my best friend. I think it's pretty obvious when we're out together. I leave the district in a really good place. I think tonight was a really great example of where we're at. Honestly, it just makes me sad that I'm not going to be able to see it continue, right? Like, I'm going to have to watch it from afar, and I will. I will be stalking you all. And I hope to find as wonderful, dedicated educators in my future home as I have here. And I hope that my school committee in California, we call them school boards, are just as supportive, although we don't have a mayor on our board, so that's going to be different. But, you know, I have had the opportunity to really get to know each and every one of you and where your heart is, and why you do what you do. And we don't always have to agree, and that's okay, because that's what life is about. But respecting each other and valuing and honoring each other is incredibly important. And I know the families have really appreciated that, and I firmly believe, and I'll just close with, doors have been opened in a different way. And people see the possibility, right? And that's just the start, because all you have to do is spend time with the children in our community and listen to them and watch them, and you will see the greatness that is inside each and every one of them, even the hardened ones. They're there. They've just got walls up, so we've just got to keep working on bringing those back down. But our children in Worcester are just spectacular, and I'm going to miss them so incredibly much. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future, because I know I'll see those names, or I'll see those faces, and I'll recognize you. So thank you, Mayor Petty, for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And
Mayor Patty?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. And when I meant the real deal, I really believe that. And, to say that I'm sad and disappointed is an understatement. But we've had, several discussions over the past several weeks. So I know where you're coming from. I respect it. And I know where your heart is. And so I do appreciate this, that you gave us good notice. And I just tell a couple stories. When I first met you, I don't think we had signed the contract yet, but you did a tour of one of the schools. We met at the Marriott of the coffee shop Fuel America. And you came in and you said, you might have spent a half hour, an hour there, but it wasn't only this school, but it was other schools. And you could give an assessment on that school. And I noticed that over the last 3 years. You could go into a place and assess it, tell the challenges, and what they're doing great, and what you needed to change. And I always respected that. We've always had good conversations, I think, on the district. There's no question about that. I really believe you, and I just said in this thing when I put this out, I said that I think you find you very thoughtful, astute, and honest. And I left one word out, vision. Sit here tonight by the people. And you always had vision where we should be taking the district. And I really believe you put the infrastructure in place in this district, that this work will be carried out. And it was said here tonight that, we talked about the strategic plan before you put it in place, what my thoughts were, and you convinced me this is a good idea, and I've really followed this, and the strategic plan really has made a difference. And I want to tell the people here tonight, we're not going to change that we're going to work on that strategic plan. We're going to put people in place who's going to take what you put in for infrastructure and really bring it to the next level, like you have. I really believe you brought the district in the right direction with your vision and putting things together here. And I said this thing, like little things like language matters, you always say that to me. And when you use that word scholars, I used it once and you started laughing at me, and way back when you said it. But it makes a difference. It does make a difference. So I do appreciate that. And I noticed how you're under pressure and the things that you get done. And whether it be the budget last year, you had to make tough decisions. Like, Mr. Allen had to make tough decisions. You had to make tough decisions, your whole staff. And you made them, and the work kept them getting done. So I do appreciate that, too, and the work that you've done here. I can't believe 3 years is up, though. It went by pretty fast. And I should tell people, too, so you're not criticizing anything. You committed to 3 years. You committed to me personally to 3 years. And I know things haven't changed. You'll probably still be here, but I understand why you're leaving. And I do appreciate that. And so I just want to say again, thank you. And I know you're going to return home in California. And so I hope they must know what they're getting, because I know what they're getting. And so I appreciate the work you've done. And for the next steps, we'll probably on one of the May meetings, probably May 1st meeting, I'll file some orders, and we'll figure out how we're going to move the district forward, whether it be the next successor to you, Madam Superintendent, and making sure that person's the right person for the job. So because open meeting laws, we really can't go into that tonight, but we'll do that at the next meeting. So again, thank you. I wish you and Jesus good luck. And we're going to be, but you are here to the end of June. So I just want to let the public know how I feel about you personally, and what I think people in the district feel about you. Thank you. Member Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I won't get into too much now. We got plenty of time as we kind of talked about this, but you know, and I'm sorry my voice is messed up tonight. What I had said to the superintendent yesterday when we had our phone conversation was really that as a father of 2 kids in the Worcester Public School and not being a school committee member, I appreciate what you've done for our scholars, for my kids, for kids here in the Worcester Public Schools, and the work that you did here. And I'm talking as a father being involved in it and seeing it, not as a school committee member working with you and your team to get things accomplished. So I just want to say that now, that again, and I want to say that in front of everyone, like as a parent, thank you very much for what you've done to this district. And I said it again, and I said it numerous times on the floor. You were a breath of fresh air that we actually needed in this district. And I really, truly believe that. And, you know, a lot of things came out today, right? It came out, and you go on social media and you read a lot of things or whatever. I'm gonna tell you, you have your distractors out there and people who already have their opinion of why she's leaving and all this other stuff. Anyone that knows Dr. Monterez and knows the work that she did and the love she put into this district and to our students and to our schools or whatever, that's not the woman sitting here today. So please don't listen and read all that nonsense that people are going to say out there, because this is not the person who's sitting here right now. This is the person who gave 3 years to our district, to our kids, to our parents, to our community here in Worcester. And I thank you for that. I think everyone thank you for that. And you'll probably hear more of that as time goes on. And we will move forward as a school committee to make sure that we have a transition moving forward to continue to do the work that Dr. Monterez set forth for us to do. Thank you.
Thank you. So we can approve and to file. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman? Yes. Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. We have a motion to adjourn. Roll call.
Member Alvarez?
Yes.
Member Biancaria?
Yes.
Member Benenda?
Yes.
Member Guardiola?
Yes.
Vice Chair Johnson?
Yes.
Member Mailman? Yes. Member McCullough?
Yes.
Member Roy?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Thanks.